Hey, welcome back to the channel. Remember this? This gem? My wife does. That was dumb. That was dumb. Every tool's a hammer, unless it's a screwdriver, then it's a chisel.
We need a torch. Hate that nut.
We're not doing that. Because it ain't built till it's overbuilt. Don't force it. Get a bigger hammer. Every day's a school day. If you remember a few of my earlier videos, one thing is for certain. My wife hates having this big yellow, orange truck sitting in the dooryard. My dogs actually hate it. They hear me coming from a mile away, and my wife says they start freaking out long before I even hit the driveway. I'm going to remedy some of that because one of the reasons it's home is I got to get a muffler on it. Try to quiet it down because I don't have any license plates or anything. You don't want to draw attention to yourself, okay? Another thing is, my friend Stevie gave me a front bumper. That'll be nice. I need to get it ready for our charity truck and tractor pull, which is in July, the third Saturday in July. So I'm way ahead of schedule. I've got like 2 months. Wow, only 2 months. Anyway, I should be able to knock this off, okay? I'm just gonna get right into it. I bought the cheapest big fat muffler I could buy at the parts store, and we're gonna figure out a way to ram it in here somewhere and try to quiet this thing down a bit. This has got a Cummins in it, and even though it's got a turbo, which normally quiets things down a bit, this thing cackles like a dozen Detroit diesel. It's terrible. Terrible to drive. Got to get it fixed. I already went through and changed out almost all the filters. The only thing left is motor oil. I'll do that before we send it back down. And, you know, as much as this rig gets used, I probably never have to do it again. So I figured, well, just go ahead and take care of all the maintenance. I crawled all over the thing and greased it, and everything took grease. I had to replace one grease fitting, and even the upper and lower kingpins, everything on it took grease good. So I think this truck is okay-ish, sorta, for what we do. We haul water from our fire company to our pulling track. Once a year, we haul about 4 loads of water with it, and that's pretty much all it does. Outside of that, I park it at the community garden where they just use it to water their tomato plants. So we have pretty low expectations here, okay? And I think, considering this was free, somebody gave it to me, maybe it'll live up to, if they're low enough, it'll live up to them. Let's get to work. Hey, I'm pretty sure I can make that muffler work, but before I do, I wanted to catch on video what this thing sounds like before, just so we can get a feel for if we made it any quieter at all after, you know? Plus, if it'll start, there's about a 98% chance that my dogs are gonna flip out because they hate it. They really hate it. Okay, there's the before. I don't know if the dogs freaked out because I certainly couldn't hear them. Let's cut this thing to pieces and put it back together and see if it's any quieter. Look at, that's there's worse jobs out there. There's better. There's much better. It's okay. You know, if I had just thought ahead instead of thinking afterwards, if I'd left this about a foot taller, that would have been just one joint up there, but who cares? Let's start it, see what it sounds like. That is so much better. Listen. Yeah. It's my neighbor saying thank you. Okay, fast forward one day. We got quite a shot of rain last night. It rained me out. So I didn't get much else done. I did get my blinkers working, which is nice. Brake lights, all these things. That's all good now. But I need to make a push bumper for the back here. What happened last year was I got stuck in the mud, which happens when you're adding water to clay. It's common. And my buddy Dave came behind me with the skid steer and pushed me out, which was working very well. But when we got to some uneven ground, the tip of the bucket went bam, and it smashed that valve all to smithereens and bent this bracket up and stuff. So I had a spare valve, luckily, so we managed to get everything pulled back and straightened out and fixed, and it was all good. But I don't like to learn a hard lesson 2 times if I can help it. So I think I'm just gonna, these used to be the pins that the dump box hinged on. I think I'm just gonna take some steel and come up a ways and just make a little bumper, sorta. Is that a bumper? I don't know, whatever. A little push bar. And maybe put a cleat on it so that when you're pushing, if that wants to happen, it'll catch the tip of the bucket so it can't pop up over. So we'll just, you know, we're just gonna start cutting and welding and make a thing, and might be a nice place here. I could maybe mount my slow moving vehicle sign to satisfy the legal department. Nice. That would be great. Okay. Look at that. I mean, yeah, that's sort of okay. Wobbly? Check. Janky? Check. But I think it might do the job. And if it doesn't, we just cut it up and do it over again This time more enlightened. I think it'll be okay though. Except for these pins are not, let me just, yeah, it's fine. Okay, on to the next. What is that? Ooh, yeah, front bumper. That would be nice. I'm sure that camera angle's got this looking all weird, but I'm gonna put this bumper on, and I was just gonna whip up some brackets and throw it on there, but there's this big gap, and it's triggering me a little bit. Okay, I don't like it, so I'm gonna cut the frame rail. See, these frame rails are a little bit longer than normal because this truck it had a snowplow on it, but it also had the big PTO driven pump off the front of the engine, and all that was in here. I took all that off back a couple videos ago when I went through the truck and kind of simplified it a bit. But I just don't like the way it's pushing the bumper way out. I think the hood will open fine if I move it back. So I'm just gonna cut these frame horns off, get the bumper back here, flush with the grill, something like that, the way it should be, and then I can just go about my business, okay? Bear with me. Okay, I think that's the gist of it. I'm trying to hit these existing holes with my brackets rather than drill new holes because I'm lazy, and that usually makes more work, which is stupid because if I'm lazy I should want to do less work. But anyway, bottom one's going to be a little tricky just because of the way it is. You'll see. All right, here we are, another day. I got a little bit rained out yesterday. My truck doesn't fit in my shop anymore since I put smaller doors on. I don't want to work on trucks, that's why. Anyway, it's okay. It's done. I mean, I approve. Ralph Nader wouldn't approve, I'm sure. We got to remember, make a note. If it gets stuck in the mud, do not hook on to the bumper, for Pete's sake. In no way, shape, or form. Try to pull it out with the... But why would you? Well, we would. That's exactly what we would do. We got to try to not to. Anyway, we're ready here. I can get the bumper on and cover up all of this. Most all of this just goes away. Let's try that. Look at it. Would you look at it? Just drink it in. That is, wow. I gotta say, it's a piece of crap. Yeah. But it really makes it look a lot less crappish. For sure. A lot less crappish. I like it. That's as hard as you want to hit it, right there. Don't run into it. The trick is, don't let anybody pull on it. I'm not a welder, okay? I'm not a welder. I think it's okay. It's fine. There's one job left to do, and that is to get some mud flaps on the back. If it'll start, I'll turn it around, back it in, and I gotta drill a few holes and just start melting metal. Plan. Whoopsies. Forgot I gotta change the oil. That's my last bit of maintenance type work. Let's just, yeah, change the oil. All right, 2 weeks later. I don't know what that means, but somebody said I'm supposed to say it because it's funny. So, hope it's not offensive. Anyway, I got this rig turned around. Got a day with no rain, which is rare this year. I'm gonna get the mud flaps on here, and this thing's gonna be out of my dooryard for another, hopefully, whole year or more. That'd be great. Let's get her done. Man, that rig, not a bad looking whip. I'm out of time for tonight. Tomorrow, we'll go get it filled up and we'll get it to work. Stand by. There. We've got, well, you can't see the water line. There's 1,000 gallons of water in there though. And I just got this guy, goes on here and goes to a garden hose. So when they need water, they got water. They can water the tomatoes and the whatever else they got going here. They're gonna grow veggies, and these folks will share them, and then anything they have that's extra, they're gonna give to the food pantry, which is just up on the next street over here, and folks can come and have fresh veggies for free. So that's what my water truck does until I need it for my tractor pull. Other than the fact that it has to get mowed around, which is kind of a pain, it's really not hurting anything sitting here. All right, we're gonna call that a wrap for this one. I really appreciate your time. Just kind of riding along while I checked a few boxes off on this old girl. But I want you to understand that this is kind of a weird thing, right? Now, most people don't have a water truck. But I've found a way that this can be useful for my community, and so I do it. Whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is that you like to do, I guarantee you can find a way to make that useful for your community, and I encourage you to please go ahead and do that. Just find a way to get engaged and make yourself useful, or make your stuff useful. It's different for everybody, but I guarantee you can find a way. I gotta sign off. The black flies are beginning to carry me away down here. Please don't forget to click subscribe. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.